Good morning, guys, and today is Friday. We made it through another week. Give yourself a pat on the back. And this morning I have a story that kind of wraps up our week with the forces of push and pull. And the next week we will talk about simple machines, and that's what I really love to do. So let's wrap up our week with a story, and it's called Newton and Me, and it's by Lynn Mayer, and it's illustrated by Sherry Rogers. Sunday morning, I was asleep in my bed when Newton, my dog, dropped his ball on my head. So there's the little boy and there's Newton, and because the dog let go of the ball, it dropped on his head. I pulled on my blue jeans, t-shirt and shoes, and ate a quick breakfast while Dad read the news. Then Newton and I ran out the back door. We had the whole day to play and explore. I rolled Newton's ball to him along the ground. As we played with the ball, here's what we found. The ball won't roll far in the rough, grassy yard. It rolls much further on a surface that's smooth and hard. And why is that? Because of friction, right? When it's smoother, the ball will go further, and when it's bumpy, the ball won't go far. But it won't roll at all if I don't give it a push. When I pushed too hard, it rolled as far as the bush. So again, he has to push the ball in order for it to move. I decided to throw the ball up in the sky. I threw the ball hard and it went really high. No matter how hard I would throw the ball up, it would always come down to me and my pup. And why is the ball falling back down? Because of gravity. This gave me an idea I wanted to test. I took out the red truck that I like the best. I put down the truck on the ground that was flat. Until I would push, my truck stayed where it was. Going downhill, my truck really speeds. It went off the sidewalk and up into the weeds. So, because the sidewalk was going downhill, he didn't have to push the truck. When I pushed my toy truck, it went really fast. But even my big push won't move my dad's car, right? Because even though it's pushing back at the boy, the car is still too heavy for him to push. I heard my mom calling for Newton and me. She wanted some rocks from a pile by the tree. We pulled my red wagon to the tree at a run. Newton and I knew this job would be fun. I filled up my wagon with piles of stone, but with all the rocks, I couldn't pull it alone. And I think we might see something similar, like a wagon next week with simple machines, right? And look at the boy. Because it's so heavy, he's having to pull really hard. When it was empty, it was easy to pull. I just couldn't move it when it was full. So it was easier for him to pull when there was nothing in it. But now that there's all the rocks and a ball and a robot and a dog, he needed his dad to help push to get it started. Then Newton and I decided to go for a ride. I hopped on my bike with my dog by my side. The wind was blowing quite hard that day. The wind at my back pushed me on my way. So if the wind is coming from behind you, it's going to help you move quicker. Now, What if the wind is coming at you? What do you think will happen? Will it be easier to pedal or will it be harder to pedal? But when I turned around to go home at last, the wind pushed against my chest and I couldn't go as fast. Pedaling uphill was really hard too. Getting to the top took all I could do. But going downhill, I needed to slow down. I did that by dragging my feet on the ground. So going downhill, he went really, really fast. And in order to slow down, he used his feet to stop him. So by using his feet to stop him, what was he using? It has the sound. He was using friction. Remember how there's little bumps on your shoes? The bumps against the sidewalk help him slow down. When we got home, we played tug of war. I pulled Newton, Newton pulled, and then I pulled some more. When he pulled as hard as I did, we didn't move at all. But when he pulled harder, I'd step forward or fall. So if you're both pulling the same amount, you don't go anywhere. But if one person is pulling harder, you are going to fall down. I realized at the end of the day that I learned some new things along the way. Playing with Newton gave me the notion that pushing and pulling are forces of motion. And look, you guys do this with the blocks sometimes. You put them all in a row, and then you push one down, and what happens? When you push it down, what happens? All the blocks fall down. All right. So that's the end of the story and the end of pushing and pulling, okay? And like I said, next week we are going to talk about simple machines, other forces of motion. And simple machines can help our lives be easier, all right? So I will see you on Monday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and I'll see you Monday.